Hello, guys. Welcome back. Today we are joined with Adnan. Adnan, welcome.
Thanks.
So we're going to do the usual predictions, and after that, we continue on with other topics relating to football. Let's start off with tomorrow's matches. Brighton versus Liverpool start the day. What are your thoughts?
Brighton versus Liverpool.
Yeah.
And I think that game will be an easy game for Liverpool, although I like the way Brighton play their game tactics, but recently Brighton are struggling. They lost against Newcastle. They are not in their best form. So I don't see Brighton winning this game. I'm actually leaning towards an easy Liverpool win, but it will be a challenging one for them. So I will go with a 2-0 Liverpool win.
Okay, and then Brentford take on Burnley, another tough game, relegation battle game. What do you think?
Brentford take on, and that game. The thing about Burnley is that they play really well in a game and they play really badly in the other game. So you never know when Burnley will turn up and how their coach will make them, and how their coach and how their coach will play them. So if he goes for the defensive way and their striker workers, if he plays that way, so I don't know but I like the way Brentford played last game. They easily won against Norwich. So I might go with not an easy one, a 2-1 Brentford win.
Okay, and the last game on Saturday, Man United versus Tottenham. A huge game, another race for top four. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm actually very disappointed in the last game against Man City. Although I was expecting Manchester City to beat us, but I was hopeful that we can at least play them, at least challenge them. But for them to beat us 4-1 easily, and after the third goal went in, Manchester United were demoralized. They didn't look they will even bring one more goal. They didn't look like a Manchester United DNA team. And as you saw, all the Manchester United legends were disappointed with Keane and Ferdinand and all the other players, Neville. So it's a really tough one. The way Manchester United are playing, I think this time Ronaldo is back, and Tottenham also are unpredictable. They win one game, they lose against small teams, but they also play well against big teams. So this game, I'm actually leaning towards a draw. I'm actually seeing a 1-1.
Okay, on Sunday, Chelsea start the day versus Newcastle. Two teams that are in form. Newcastle ran away from the relegation battle, and Chelsea are finding their spot on that. Sorry, they are finalizing their spot on number 3. What do you think?
Yeah, Chelsea are a pretty good team. And the way Newcastle are playing, yesterday they won. I was watching the game, they won, and without their main players, without Trippier, without Maximin, without Jolinton in the midfield, and they look confident against a very challenging team against Southampton. And the way Southampton play, they like to attack, they like to score many goals, but they made sure that Southampton didn't look that challenging. The way Bruno Guimaraes was playing, and every player was looking really decent. So Newcastle are also a hard team to beat, and their coach just took the manager of the month. So although I'm leaning towards a Chelsea win, but also this game I'm seeing a draw. I'm going for a 2-1. No, I'm leaning towards a Newcastle win somehow. I'm going for 2-1 Newcastle win.
Okay, and then Everton face Wolves. Wolves in form. Everton have been, let's say, they haven't been that good. What do you think about this one?
Oh, Wolves, they just bet 4-0. They just won 4-0, so they are in pretty good form. And Everton, the thing about Everton is that their games are not getting easy. Each game is harder than the other. So this season, it's likely that Everton will be in the relegation battle, but I don't think they will go down that easily. Everton are a really good team. I don't think they will just go down. So I will go for an Everton win. Somehow Everton to make this one, I will go for an Everton close one win, 1-0 win.
Okay, and then the new Leeds manager has already played 2 games, 2 of them that he has lost, and now they're facing Norwich for another relegation battle. What do you think?
Yeah, I think this will be his first win against Norwich, and although Norwich performed some games, but the Norwich, and I mean, will go to the relegation, will go back. I think Norwich just come back and get relegated again. So I will go for an easy Leeds win, an easy Leeds 3-1 win.
Okay, and then Southampton face Watford.
Southampton versus Watford. I think the way the Watford are playing, they are not playing really good football. When I watch their game, I feel frustrated. They are not playing with their full potential. The way Watford used to play, they have really good players. When you see their squad, you see some good players. So the likes of Sa, Dennis, and Sissoko. You see so many players that are very talented, but their system with their coach Roy Hodgson is not working, and it's really hard for them. So I don't think they will win. I think they will lose this game. I will go for a Watford lose 2-1.
Okay, and then another big game, West Ham take on Aston Villa. What do you think about this one?
Yeah, that one will be a very tough one for West Ham, especially to keep their top 4 hopes alive. They are playing against Aston Villa, who are on form, and with Coutinho, he's firing, and when Coutinho is firing, it's unimaginable, and it's very hard to stop him. So this one I'm seeing mixed signals, but I'm going for just West Ham win, a 2-1 West Ham win.
Okay, and then Sunday ends with Arsenal facing Leicester. Arsenal are in the possibility of gaining more and more points without their game in hands and maybe sealing their top 4 place. What do you think about this one?
Yeah, and I don't think Leicester will stop us. The Arsenal are on form. They have young players that are willing to play, that are passionate about the team. They are willing to sacrifice for their team. So I'm actually going for an Arsenal win. I'm going for an Arsenal 3-1 win.
Okay, and this Monday, Crystal Palace take on Man City. The last time it happened, I think Crystal Palace drew, I think. What do you think about this time?
Crystal Palace versus Man City, and this time last time Crystal Palace beat Man City, where I think 1-0. So this time we think it will be hard. I think last time it was 2-1. I'm not sure, but this time it will be a bit harder because it's a must-win game for Man City. And when Man City are going for their must-win games, they don't play around. They just play to their full potential. So I'm seeing a Man City win, but it will be a tough one for them, a really tough one. I will go for a hard one, a last-minute win for Man City, a 2-1 last-minute win.
Hey, we're also going to do the game in hands. Brighton face Spurs on Wednesday. What do you think about that one?
Brighton versus Spurs. And with Brighton, I think they like drawing against big teams. So I'm gonna go with this one is hard to play. And I will go with a Spurs win, a Spurs 2-1 win.
Okay, and then later on, Arsenal face Liverpool in one of their Arsenal's biggest games and Liverpool. So this is going to be a hard one. What do you think about this one?
Yeah, this one is a really tough one for Arsenal. It's the top 4. I mean, still their top 4 fight, and for Liverpool, for them to keep up with Man City. So it will be a really hard one. It will be the game in hand for Liverpool and game in hand for Arsenal. So it will be a really hard one. But I will go for a Liverpool win because Liverpool are challenging for the league, and they can't just lose points like that. So I go for Liverpool 3-2 win.
Okay, and then the last game in hand for next week is Everton versus Newcastle. Everton, of course, fighting against relegation, and Newcastle as well. What do you think about this one?
Everton versus Newcastle. Although Newcastle are in good form, but and by now I think Newcastle looks safe from the relegation. I think the relegation is now between Burnley, Everton, Leeds, and Brentford, and Watford. Sorry, sorry. And so I don't think Newcastle are in the relegation battle, but for that game, I think they will just lose their consistency. I think they will lose against Everton. There's something telling me they will lose. So I'll go for an Everton win. Everton just 1-0.
Okay, since we're talking about the relegation battle, we can talk about how many teams are actually in the relegation battle. Norwich, Watford, Burnley, Everton, Leeds, and even Brentford, even though they have 27 points. The gap is so close. What do you think about this?
Yeah, it's a really hard one and it's a competitive one. I think every team has a chance to get out of it. I think for some reason I'm seeing that Burnley somehow manages to come out and Leeds goes down, but it's a really hard one. But I think it's most likely to stay that way. And the three teams that are now in the bottom, Burnley, Watford, and Norwich to get relegated.
Okay, since we're talking about the relegation battle and everything, yesterday there were games that were played, game in hands rather. Newcastle had a close win against Southampton, uh, taking them farther away from the relegation battle as well. And Watford and Leeds losing. What do you think about this in general, about yesterday's games?
Yeah, yesterday I watched Newcastle, as I said before. I watched them. I was really impressed with the way Newcastle are playing. I was actually so surprised because when I saw their lineup at first, they were playing against a big team, a challenging one, Southampton. So I expected them to have their key players in with Saint Maximin and Jolinton and most of the key players in, but they came out with the likes of Bruno Guimaraes, who was starting for the first time, and he played really well. I think he scored one of the goals of the season with his back heel. With Chris Wood also scored his first goal for Newcastle, so it was a wonderful night for Newcastle, and I think they are safe from getting relegated after the recruitment of the January transfer window.
Okay, and another thing we can talk about, it's a recent story. Okay, one page I think mentioned it, is that Everton is having an investigation on breach of the FFP rules on in the Premier League. What do you think about this? Because if they are going to have the rules, if the rules are going to be placed, Everton is going to be easily relegated. What do you think about this?
Yeah, and this year has been a tough one for Everton fans and Everton. And after sacking of Rafa Benitez, although he was the main problem, he made the team look so weak. And the thing about Everton is not, I've never seen Everton fighting for a relegation battle. They're always fighting for top 4 or top 7 there with their coaches Carlos Ancelotti and all the other coaches. So it will be a really hard one for the Everton fans just to go down and go to the championship this season. But if it happens, it happens. So I think they will back their team until the end. So I hope the best for them. But I think this year was one of their worst years as Everton fans.
Yeah, it's been terrible, a challenging year, especially for different teams, not only Everton. Okay, enough of that. Now let's talk about the most recent news, Chelsea's sanctions. What do you think about this?
Yeah, that will be a really tough one for Chelsea. I think their ticket sale, they are losing a lot of money. They can't, their contract, they can't resign their contract. They are losing big key players. They're losing Christensen, so many key players. It will be a tough one for Chelsea fans, but now it will show dedication to, which player wants to fight for Chelsea and stay in their hard times. and which player wants to go and just go for other teams that will give him more money and he enjoys his life, or and which team, which player is a diehard player that wants to struggle with the team and come out as a strong player and be there for be there for the team when they are at the bad times and the good times. So it will be a differentiative one. I think Tuchel said that he will fight even as long as he has the Chelsea jersey on him. So we will wait at what happens. But I think Chelsea will be as strong as ever, and they will be more dedicated because of the sanctions that happened to them.
Okay, I think that's it. Thanks for your time, Adnan. Like, share, comment, and subscribe if you're new here. I was your host, Fahmy. That's Adnan, and we'll see you next time.